So, you're thinking about finding a dog trainer here in Swansea, South Carolina? That's awesome. It is honestly one of the best things you can do for your relationship with your dog. It's really the first step to a more peaceful, enjoyable life together. So, let's jump right in. Okay, just picture this for a second. You're taking a walk along the Edisto River, and your dog is just trotting calmly right by your side. The leash is loose, they're not pulling or lunging at everything that moves. It's just relaxing for both of you. Or, hey, how about this? A neighbor stops by to say hello while you're out in the yard, and instead of jumping all over them, your dog just sits politely. These things aren't just daydreams. They're the real tangible results of good training. And making that your reality is probably more straightforward than you might think. It really all boils down to finding the right professional to guide you and your dog, and that's exactly what we're about to walk you through. First things first, let's talk about what makes a trainer great. We're going to cover their philosophy and their professionalism. Before we even get into programs or prices, we got to know what we're looking for. What separates a pretty good trainer from a truly great one? The term you're going to hear a lot is positive reinforcement, and for good reason. It's the gold standard in modern dog training. It's a science-based method where you reward your dog for making good choices, whether that reward is a treat, a favorite toy, or just some praise. What this does is build a dog who wants to work with you. It's a positive experience, and it creates this amazing bond that's built on trust, not on fear. Next up, let's look for professional certifications. You might see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, but some are more meaningful than others. Seeing things like CPD-TKA or KPA-CTP is a fantastic sign. It means they've passed some pretty rigorous exams on learning theory, animal behavior, and using humane practices. And if you're dealing with more complex issues like serious fear or aggression, a credential like CBCKA shows they have specialized expertise in behavior modification. Now, here's a really key piece of local information. The state of South Carolina does not have a licensing system for dog trainers. That means pretty much anyone can hang a shingle and call themselves a trainer. This is why those voluntary certifications we just talked about are so incredibly important. They're your best way of knowing a trainer is truly committed to quality and ethics. All right, so once you know what a quality trainer looks like, the next step is finding a program that fits your specific dog, your goals, and, of course, your budget. The two most common options you'll see are group classes and private lessons. Group classes are just fantastic for puppies and for practicing commands around other dogs and people in a controlled way. Private lessons, on the other hand, give you that tailored, one-on-one help, which is perfect if you're trying to tackle a very specific issue or reach a personal goal. There are some other formats out there too. In-home training is excellent because the trainer can see and solve problems right where they happen, like barking at the window or jumping on guests. Then there are board and train programs. These are way more intensive since your dog actually lives with the trainer. For these, the most critical part is that a good program will include a lot of follow-up to teach you how to maintain all that great new training. So, let's talk about the cost. This chart gives you a ballpark idea of what you can expect to pay in the Swansea and Greater Lexington County area. A 6-week group class, for example, might be somewhere between $140 and $250. A 2-week board and train, as you can see, is a much bigger investment, often running from $1,500 to almost $3,000. This should help you set a realistic budget for what you need. Okay, you've found a few potential trainers, and they look good on paper. Now it's time to actually talk to them. Knowing what to ask is going to be the key to making a choice you feel really good about. Here are 5 essential questions to have in your back pocket. First, ask about their training philosophy. You want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement. Second, ask about their credentials. A great trainer will be happy to tell you. Third, ask how they tailor their plans, because every dog is an individual. Fourth, pay really close attention to how they talk about handling fear. The answer should always be about patience and compassion. And finally, ask how they'll involve you in the process, because successful training is always a team effort. All right, to be a really successful dog owner here in Swansea, you also need to know the local landscape. And that means understanding the rules and knowing the best places to go to practice your dog's new skills. So here are the key rules for us here in Lexington County. A leash is required in all public areas. That's a big one. Also, by state law, your dog has to wear their rabies tag on their collar. Some good news, though, you don't need a separate county license. Just the rabies tag will do. And just be aware that excessive barking can be considered a nuisance, so training for quiet behavior is always a good idea. So where can you go to practice all this? Well, Swansea Town Park is perfect for working on leash manners with all those normal, everyday distractions. Swansea Park, which you might know as Old Edisto Park, offers a more natural, quiet setting for focus work. And if you feel like a short drive, Lake Murray Public Park is fantastic for practicing recall on a long leash with tons of new sights and sounds. When you boil it all down, I think this quote says it best. The goal of training isn't just to get a dog who sits when you tell them to. It's about building a better line of communication. A really great trainer is like your own personal translator, teaching you how to understand your dog and helping your dog understand you. We really wish you the best of luck in your search. A well-trained companion just makes every single part of life in Swansea, at home, around town, and with your neighbors, so much more enjoyable. It really does make a world of difference.